So I was talking with my buddy Dante at work today about some video I just posted on about a spreadsheet. And I said, well, I do that with almost everything I do. He's like, well, yeah, of course. I said, no, I did it with a recipe. He's like, what? So I was looking for a recipe for merguez sausage. Please see the description that I've got down here. And I started researching recipes, and I found out that there was lots of variation with each of these recipes. So my natural instinct as a data person was to build a spreadsheet, and I analyzed multiple recipes to determine the common ingredients and the common quantities, and came out with essentially a mean or an average of the components and the quantities. And so this is a result of that research. And yes, I built a spreadsheet to decipher a recipe. Nerd!
So merguez, here's a description. We were introduced to merguez through a friend of ours who's from Morocco. We've eaten it at multiple Moroccan restaurants. Um, like it, love it. So much so that I decided to go down the rabbit hole of trying to find a recipe and make a burger out of merguez. So when you Google merguez recipe, you'll find that there's 2.6 million results, and that's a lot. So instead of reviewing them all or taking a guess which one's the best, I took a slightly nerdier approach and built a spreadsheet. So I looked at 10 different recipes for merguez. I recorded the meat, the components, and the measurement for each of the components. Recorded for each. So some of these use 3 pounds of lamb with another pound of, it could have been beef, or I doubt it was pork. Some of these were only a 1 pound recipe. So looking at the proportion of the seasoning to the meat played a big part in this. Recorded all of the information and then come over to the far right and did an average. Simple approach. Just take an average of these. So at 2.5 pounds of lamb and about a pound of other meats such as beef, you would need 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of coriander seed, etc., so forth. And then I took the mode, a built-in function in Excel, based it on the same sets of information, and this is where things got a little bit more interesting. So it kind of rounded it up, so we're at 3 pounds, so we're at a 3-to-1 ratio. We're back to a full 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, and when we get down to some of the seasonings such as cinnamon and turmeric, there weren't enough data points for it to actually contribute. Same thing with tomato paste and olive oil. And you come down to pomegranate juice, oregano, all of these things, they didn't offer any data for the mode, so they were removed. So your base recipe that I found is these guys. So 3 pounds of lamb, 1 pound of beef, cumin, coriander, garlic, harissa. If you've never had harissa, that's a whole other story. You need to Google it, go to the store, buy you some, mix it in cream cheese or in just some pasta to give it a good shot. It's amazing stuff. And this worked out. We made burgers. They were great, wonderful. I loved them. It was exactly the taste I was looking for. It's what I had in my mind, what my taste buds wanted. And so I took this approach and did something else. I did a hash brown casserole. I think it was around the holidays. I don't exactly remember. All of this data was compiled pre-COVID. So same thing with hash brown casserole. Looked at the components for 10 different recipes and came out with this recipe. A pound of sausage, hash brown, salt, pepper, cheese, eggs, milk, onion, and Dijon mustard. It's like, hey, that worked. Let's try something else. So I went down the rabbit hole and did it for breakfast sausage seasoning. Hey! Because we were having difficulty finding a brand that was consistent. So this is breakfast sausage seasoning. And there's lots of stuff that goes in there, but again, basing it off of the mode, some of these aren't producing enough, or they're not common enough across multiple recipes, and this was actually 11 recipes, to have any contribution, so the recipe got a little bit simpler. And again, this worked, so why not do it again with bratwurst? Yeah, there were a lot of parts to bratwurst. I stopped there. All of the data is there. I didn't finish with the rest of the recipe because I'm never going to make it. I'm just going to go buy it. There are too many other people that make it a lot better. If you have an Aldi nearby, ALDI, their bratwurst is great. It's uncooked, uncured. In the casing, you can take it out, crumble it up, and we make gravy for biscuits with it. So this is a nerdy approach to determining a quote-unquote good recipe, or just a standard recipe based on a set of common ingredients. It's a bit of a nerdy approach again, but this is kind of the personality type that I am. I will include the recipe for the merguez and the hash brown casserole in the comment or the notes. You'll see them below. Just look below for the recipes.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.